Jeremy, we're starting with a scary moment at Detroit Lions practice today. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Dan, CJ GardnerJohnson, their prize safety from the 2023 free agency class, went down with a knee issue, but I texted with somebody in the Lions building. They sent the words back, all good. So this is considered a minor issue, and our field Yates reported that no structural damage in that knee coming off the MRI. So GardnerJohnson signed a one-year deal. He plans to have a big season, cash in 2024. That plan is still intact right now.
Plan to help Detroit improve a defense, allowed just over 25 points per game last season, tied for the third worst in the league. It's the fourth straight year the Lions ranked 26th or worse in scoring defense. Obviously, they're hoping to get better. They played man-to-man defense at the second highest rate in the NFL last year, and it simply did not hold up. The Lions allowed the deepest average completion in the entire league. So, RC, it sounds like that is good news for the Lions. So let's proceed with how does CJ GardnerJohnson's addition help them fix their issues on defense?
CJ GardnerJohnson, in his career being in the NFL, was probably a top 2 slot guy in New Orleans who could go man-to-man with any of the top slot wide receivers. He was a guy that could blitz, run support off of the edge, and then he turned into the premier middle-of-the-field safety with the Philadelphia Eagles, getting 6 picks last year and being an absolute missile out of the middle of the field when it came to tackling. And so you couple him with the drafting of Brian Branch out of Alabama in the second round, and you have 2 of the premier inside the number defenders in the entire NFC North. And so I think what he adds to this team is an attitude, a go-getter in the way that he plays the game, and an absolute dog. And from what I hear, at least as many times as he's been slapped or punched on the field, he's a world-class trash talker as well.
His mouthpiece is never in. This was an immense source of relief, or at least we hope so. The news that it's not as serious as it seemed. For all the reasons Ryan just articulated, I was really excited to watch him in this defense in particular because it's a reunion with Aaron Glenn, who's their defensive coordinator, who coached him in New Orleans. You talked about all the man coverage that Detroit plays. New Orleans with CJ GardnerJohnson played a ton of man coverage, ton of cover 2 man. So, I saw the signing as kind of the final piece for this defense, in particular this secondary, to make a leap. And to have him is immensely important. But I will also say, I do think safety is probably one of the positions where this team is the deepest. If he has to take any period of time out, whether it's from camp or beyond. Ryan alluded to the drafting of Brian Branch, who I think, similar to CJ, can play both safety and in the slot. Also getting Tracy Walker back from injury. Kirby Joseph really broke out at the end of last season. Ask Aaron Rodgers about it. So to have all 4 of those guys together for Aaron Glenn to work with and to use in different groupings, it's really one of the more talented groups on the team and arguably in the NFL.
High expectations in Detroit this year, and obviously a lot of that rests on the improvement they expect to be able to make on defense. Let's keep it on the defensive side of the ball.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.